Gate 14 baseball and Toronto Blue Jays. Did I just say Gate 14 baseball? Gate 14 podcast
You're
and
not wrong.
Toronto Blue Jays baseball is all the way back. We are watching Blue Jays games on our television. We did a live stream yesterday. It was electric. JR, what's up, man? You happen to catch some of the live stream of the boys?
I was tuned in. I was beach golf on the TikTok live.
You could have just been in it, Jack.
Yeah, I was gonna join for just the Kikuchi innings, but it seemed like we were having some extreme issues before, and I didn't know if a third was gonna fucking crash the
we
system.
weren't. It wasn't the actual stream part we were fucking with. We were having a meltdown with. It was just the TikTok. Avery's
The
computer
TikTok looked
crashed.
The TikTok. I was gonna text you guys. The TikTok, like Johnny, like your camera looked like amazing.
Yeah, no, that's from my phone. That's what I might have to just use for the podcast.
Is that new?
No. This,
Okay,
well,
'cause
this
I
phone.
was like,
I haven't
holy
done.
fuck,
I haven't
this
done
is
a
great.
live on this. Yeah, it is new technically. I haven't done a live on this phone.
Okay,
if that's what
'cause
you mean. Yeah,
that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, holy fuck.
yeah,
this
no,
thing
it's
is-
insanely good fucking quality. Like it's the iPhone 11 or 12 Pro, not Pro, just the 11 iPhone 12. I think I don't even know if that's a thing. But yeah, it was good. Abe, what's up, buddy? How you
Nothing.
doing?
Great day yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It was hard to kind of pay attention, like with chat going on, and I was so frustrated that my screen was like 3 seconds behind yours and then 10 seconds behind people in chat. So it made it a miserable watching experience.
Yeah, that part was
myself.
pissing me off.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Like, I
don't
can't
even know-
celebrate after you guys have both celebrated and I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, you don't. I don't even know if you can fix that though. Can you? Like, you're always going to be behind, right?
Yeah, so I watched it on my PS5. Humble brag, I have a PS5. Anyone who doesn't,
Yeah,
have a
it must be
PS5
nice,
is
man.
poor. Yeah, no, I'm just a little bit behind. I've always been behind because I would like watching in my room, and I don't think there's anything I can do about
But
it.
you
People-
but Avery, I don't even know if Johnny knows this, but one of the craziest thing Avery has confirmed that he enjoys. Abe, your thing about watching games behind and being spoiled, you like that.
What
Remember
the
you
fuck?
said that about the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, that
You said
was
that
the one time where I thought that was really true was the Chiefs Buffalo game, 13 seconds left, when I was knowingly behind by a little bit. Like my brother would text me about the game. I'd be like, okay, this is kind of awesome. Like I know it went well when it goes well, but if it's a nightmare, and baseball's a different story. I don't like watching it that
I mean,
much.
that's just serial killer shit.
Yeah,
How does that even make you just like shit being ruined for you? Like, what are you
ruins
talking
the
about?
wrong word because I get to watch it after. I'm still finding out what happened, but I'm just watching my phone. It's like I was watching East Carolina, North Carolina baseball. We had $500 on it. They were down 3-0 going into the 8th, and I'm watching dots, heart racing because I have so much money on this game, just flipping the dots, and that's how I'm getting it broken to me. Maybe I'm just old school that way.
That is just, I can't believe you like, but you are right though with the stream. It sucks because like the chat ruins it. So what I might just do is like, I might just start reading the chat at the commercial break. Like just go full screen with the game on my computer and then read the chat during the commercial break. And that makes the most
best
sense.
part of it is like talking to the chat as well, because there's
Yes.
like we wouldn't be anything without them interacting with us as well. So it would feel disingenuous if we didn't talk to them.
A sacrifice I'm willing to make though is it being ruined, because talking to the chat is electric. Like it being ruined, the sacrifice I'm willing to make. Thank you, Gate 14. It's just
I would like to have mine at the same time as yours. Our stream.
Yes. What sucks is though I can't pause it because it's on Bell 5.
Yeah, and I
TV
can't,
or whatever, so you can't pause it on that. I'm pretty sure, because if
I
I
can't
could,
make mine go faster, so I don't know how.
because if I don't know how to do it. We'll figure something
the chat
out.
can fix it. They don't like that we're so far behind. You can pause the live stream for 10 seconds and then play it from there, and then you'd be close to on time with what we're seeing.
Johnny has always been behind though. Like even last year, every single TikTok live, you were behind, and everyone was spoiling everything.
Yeah, the chat does spoil a lot of it, but it's fine. Like, I mean, it is electric. It was a sick. I mean, yesterday we couldn't have picked a better game to live stream for the first game of the year. I mean, you got Kikuchi carving, Vladdy launching baseballs, and then Addison Barger, who is just like the second coming of Christ. I mean, yesterday's game was as perfect as could be. Like literally, it was the most perfect game ever.
I had no problems with it. If Kikuchi, which he had tended to do last year, like walked 4, gave up a couple hits, it would be like, okay, we're starting over from the start. But him being absolutely electric was awesome. 14 whiffs? Are you kidding me? 2 innings?
I have a lot of pet peeves, but my biggest pet peeve is in the TikTok comments, people saying, congrats, he did this against minor leaguers. That wasn't a minor league lineup that he was facing yesterday. I mean, he was facing McCutcheon. He was facing who's the cat? Austin Hedges. Obviously, he's not that good, but he was
O'Neal
facing
Cruz was in the lineup.
O'Neal Cruz. Yeah, he's facing all these guys. And 5 punchies in 6 innings. You're facing professional baseball players at the end of the day.
And those are
I don't give a fuck if it's minor leaguers or not. Like that was an impressive, obviously an overreaction, but that was a very impressive fucking start. And the thing that's even pisses me off more is if he got shelled, then people would have said he's dog shit. Right?
100%.
You know,
like it's never good enough for these. I mean,
we said that about Zach Thompson right after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Thompson. Oh my god.
But we kept it as genuine as possible because one, we're roasting Zach Thompson for getting shelled, but we're praising Yusei Kikuchi. You can't have it either way. Yeah. You're facing big league guys at the end of the day. But man, I mean, Zach Thompson, holy fuck. You getting pulled from a big league spring training game in the middle of an inning is the most embarrassing thing ever, right?
It was, I mean, oh my god.
Close.
Like it was like that's when you remind yourself, holy fuck, there's some shit players in the spring training. But he was throwing like, what was he maxing out like 91 on the mound?
Cutters,
I was like,
though. They're cutters. They're not forcing fastballs, I think.
He was decent with the Rays, right?
No, Pirates.
He was with the Pirates last year, but I thought
Marlins.
He was like decent.
It was the Marlins he was
Okay.
decent on.
I mean,
yeah, he was decent on the Marlins, but he had
he was bucket. Like
he's ass.
Oh god, yeah.
He's
there's
ass.
just no chance he's cracking anything.
And then
he's ass. But
then we get Tim Meza today. Oh, it's kind of tough. I mean, I still hate losing to the Yankees even in spring training. Like it was 6-0. Volpe's might be actually really good. Which
he's insane,
he's
bro.
Well, the one play in right field, I forget which Jay was playing right field, could have just been caught because he lined out to start and then crazy play that he got a double on, which is nuts. But he might steal 50 bags. I hope for the sake of the New York Yankees, he doesn't start in the big leagues because we got to
give. I mean, I know I say give your flowers a lot, but you got to tip your cap to Anthony Volpe, bro. He's fucking good and he's fast as shit. I think he stole 2 bases today, second and third.
What's his background? Like where he played?
No idea. I just know he's like the number 1 prospect for the top 5 or top 10 prospect in baseball. I'm pretty sure, right, Abe? He's up there, like top 5, top 10
prospect.
He's absurd.
Sure.
He's absurd. Like he's a freak.
They would have IKF playing instead of him is
malpractice. Like IKF shouldn't even be like can't even hold Volpe's jock strap, dude. Seriously.
No,
like
get him behind the plate again.
Oh, I keep forgetting he was a catcher.
Holy fuck. He had 44 swipes last year.
Dude, listen, I know we're Yankee haters, rightfully so, but that kid is going to be a fucking freak.
So like 50 in total. 50 the year. Holy fuck.
Dude, he's insane. But we got to talk about the guy that's stealing our hearts. I've been popping Addies for like a month now. I've been telling you I'm an Addison Barger guy. Sorry. That swing is just it's cummable, if that's even a word. I mean, I would fuck Addison Barger's swing. Is that crazy to say? I would fuck his swing.
Yeah, no, that's probably on the more tame end of words I would have thought you used about his swing because it is awesome. It is violent. It's ready to do damage, but it's like decently in control. When Bo swings and misses,
it looks terrible.
Yeah,
it looks bad.
Like, how in the hell can that guy hit a baseball? But obviously he can. He's really good. And then Barger swings and misses. He looks in control. Like the body control is pretty good, and it's just a violent swing to do damage. It's awesome. He's not going to make the team out of camp, I don't think.
Which sucks. It sucks because, dude, he is so fucking good, dude. Like, especially as like he can quite literally play everywhere. I mean, he played
as much as I'm sorry, what's his Aiden?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just Biggio, but way better. We can't have 2 of them on the team at the same time.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep Biggio there to start, which is
fine, man. I mean, It's just I love the prospect hype stuff. We saw it with Manoa, who lived up to his expectations. We've seen it with Vladdy, who lived up to his expectations. We've seen it with Bo, who lived up to his expectations. And now we kind of got this kind of next guy up who is like a fucking weirdo. Obviously, I mean, the guy doesn't like training with people, which is fine. I mean, just some of the interviews he comes across as kind of a weirdo, but he gained 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason.
He is.
It's like, what the fuck are like? This guy clearly wants it more than anyone in the organization. Is that crazy? I mean, 20 pounds of muscle is, he said he's been studying kinesiology to learn like what body parts that he has to like maximize to be able to be good at baseball. You think fucking Kevin Biggio's doing that shit? No offense, Aiden. No, he's a freak, this fucking kid, dude. And like at this point,
I was shocked when I saw his quads the first time.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
I thought he was just like last year. He didn't look skinny. He was obviously strong, but like last year he was like whatever. And now it's the jersey doesn't even fit him.
Yeah, John Schneider on the broadcast today is chirping him for wearing extra small shirts, but he looks great. You know, he was a natural right-handed hitter.
Yeah, and he liked Ichiro.
Yeah, so he became a switch hitter because he liked Ichiro's swing, and he just took out the right-handed hitter. Like he just
that is such rock star shit.
No
That's
one
absurd.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like your natural way, you just don't swing that way anymore. Who in the right mind does it? That's the type of guy he is, which I think people are gonna love him.
Being a switch hitter in general, still, it's just I'm in awe of people that can.
Me too.
Do that.
There's so many MLB players who should just drop one of their ways they swing.
Yeah.
Too. You look at the splits. Again, you don't see most of them hit right-handed because you get a lot of less left-handed at bats, so you can't really tell over the same sample size. But like Ian Happ, I forget which way. I was just like, Ian Happ, if he just stops hitting one way, he's going to be the best hitter in baseball. So, I mean, Barger, good for him. He figured it out early.
It's just crazy that he's like, fuck it. I'm not going to swing righty. Like, and looking at his stats last year, 144 hits, 26 nukes, 91 RBIs, 308 average. And this is without the 20 pounds of muscle. He had 26 home runs.
Does it have his ISO there in the advanced stats?
No, I'm on MLB.com, so I don't think it has it. But this dude is like a 6th round draft pick who just became like, loves the game of baseball and loves getting better at it. And just said, fuck it. I'm going to turn into the best version of me. And I'm just going to I want to be a big leaguer in 2023. And I mean, if he doesn't make the club at this point, I mean, the guy is raking. It's the him and Vladdy show. That's what it is right now in spring training.
We are 2 games into the spring, but he's showing what he's good at, and that's all you want to see from him. And he's a guy who can play shortstop as a defensive position. How many other guys on the team right now can play shortstop that you think? Okay, first I'll say I don't know how good his defense is, so maybe he's a horrible defense.
I don't know. Yeah, that's something that I would like to see. Like, I'm guessing he's going to play some games in the outfield too.
I mean, yeah,
during spring training.
Like the bat plays, so you'll always find plays.
So he had a 949 fielding percentage at shortstop last year, a 924 at third base. So he played 506 innings at short and only made where's the errors? 506 innings. He only made 10 errors in 506 innings. So a 949 I was about to say save percentage. A 949 fielding percentage. That's going to play.
Well, now
that's going to play.
Now we need to see what Bo's was, because that's how we can work off if it was good or not.
I don't know what Bo's was, actually. I'm pretty sure it was probably something like that along the lines. We'll see. But man, he is he's taken a lot of people's eyes this spring training, man. I mean, I know we're still early in it, but just the 20-pound muscle, like 20 pounds worth of muscle growth, and just his swing and how vicious it is like, I don't know how you can't be sold on this guy, man. I don't know how you cannot. I want him to make the team out of camp based if he like keeps this up or is consistent over spring, because man, the Jays are in win now mode. All right. It's tired. It's no more of the fuck it. Let's just leave prospects in the minors. Let's start calling guys up. Let's put the best guys on the field that you could put on the field. No more of this fucking bullshit. Let's wait. Let's let them marinate in the minors, all that stuff. If you are good and you are showing that you are good in AAA, if he rakes in April, call him up in May. That's like, it's like you're in win now mode, man. You can't just be leaving assets and like good parts of your team in AAA.
Bo made 23 errors last year.
Yeah, that's also in the majors though, but yeah.
with 1,300 innings.
Yeah.
So
So
what is that?
it's a similar, I guess, fielding percentage, right? Kinda. Or not
Nine,
fielding. Yeah.
958.
Okay, yeah. So it's like 9 points above. But yeah. I guess and the next thing we could talk about, we got to talk about Vladdy, boys. I mean, this fucking guy. It's just he is, and I know he's getting a little cocky with these bat drops. When you're hitting these baseballs like he is, bat drop the fuck out of that. I mean, that ball he hit today was, I don't know if you guys, I'm assuming you guys saw it, but it was shot on, dude. Shot on.
He almost won an MVP. He is good enough to do what he wants pretty much at the plate with a little bit of flair. The Bradenton one, we were playing COD with Schwarber and Bryce's taught yesterday, and they said Bradenton was just a launching pad, so they think it wasn't that impressive. But then you do it Dunedin again today, which we saw them play there before. He is hitting the ball so hard, and it's the launch angle thing that we look at fancy baseball wise. What are things you can bring Vladdy down with? And it was just him not being very selective last year, smashing baseballs as hard as he possibly can into the ground and just pulling them. That was his problem. So he gets the ball in the air. He has the power to get it out, especially at the Rogers Center New Dimensions. I love what I've seen from him the first 2 days. He could have hit them off the wall, got them in the air, would have been fine as long as he just wasn't rolling over to short in every at bat.
I'm sold, man. Vladdy looks good, dude. Like, it's only 2 games in, which sucks that we're doing this on Sunday, so we won't know how the rest of the week pans out. But I mean, his swing, it looks like it. I like I said, we're only 2 games in, but it looks like it did in 2021, where it's just vicious. Like it's like you leave a mistake in middle or middle in, and he is sending that shit to Mars. That ball he hit today was a mistake, and holy fuck, did he just send that ball to hell?
He's a good hitter that way. I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's awesome to watch. He hits some of the best home runs. There is one player in the league, I think, that hits cooler home runs in general, and that's Giancarlo Stanton. Anytime he hits a home run, it looks really cool, and I'm just jealous and in awe. And I think Vladdy hits really cool home runs as well. So on the cool scale, he's still up there.
Where do you guys stand with the Varsho stands out there? Like the people that are like campaigning really, really hard for Dalton Varsho. And listen, it's not like he hasn't done anything in the big leagues, but I mean, the expectations that Blue Jays Nation, like just Blue Jays fans in general, have for Varsho is crazy, dude. Like, it's absurd, the expectations we have for him, which sucks because I mean, it's still a young guy coming into a new team, first time being traded. It's like, we can't just be expecting like crazy stuff like Toronto Blue Jays fans are speaking of for him.
It's almost thinking of the expectations that were put on the team last year have kind of gone away and gone on to certain players like Dalton Varsho, right?
Yeah.
We've seen 2 games. I mean, he hasn't done anything. It's spring training. He said he likes to see a lot of pitches, but that's fine. I think they've just put a ton of expectations on him, and that's fine. Like, I have no worries about that at all. I think it's people who are excited about the team and were disappointed last season by the results, so they want to put it on players that we bring in that are different and do it that way, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think like he had a really good season. Like he had such a good season last year, and ever since the trade, everyone just thinks that this year is going to be better. But like we also traded for a guy. What is it, like 3 to 4 years of control? Like he could 100% take a step back this year. That's what people have to like come to terms with, is like him running into like be the 4 hitter or wherever he's projected to hit in our lineup for the entire year. If he ends up doing that and doing a good job, that's a huge plus I see as a 26-year-old on a World Series contending team. Like there's a chance that he's down near the bottom, like potentially like halfway through if he's not hitting well. Like, so, and I think that's why the Jays also, like you look at the management, like they got guys like Brandon Belt, who's a lefty who they know what Brandon Belt is going to produce. Like he'll be able to hit in the 4, 5, 6 hole all year. And Varsho's more, I think, more of a wild card at the top of the order compared to Belt.
He is fast as fuck, man. But one guy that really like has surprised me with his speed, and a lot of Jays like fans are clinging on to him as well, is Otto Lopez, dude. I mean, he's going to get a shot at the World Baseball Classic. I think he's starting at shortstop for Canada. So he's going to be seeing really good pitching there. If he excels there, it's like that's another guy that could be a utility because he plays short. He can play outfield, I believe, right, Ave? Otto
Yeah,
Lopez plays
I think
outfield as
so.
well. Yeah, I think he plays outfield too. It's like he's fast as fuck, especially with these new rules and these new bases, man. It's like that's another guy that's going to be a massive part of the Toronto Blue Jays, like a sleeper type of guy. And I love Otto Lopez. I've always liked him, and we'll see what happens with him. But man, this is exciting stuff, man. This is exciting stuff seeing baseball back, especially when you have the big dogs like Vladdy doing what they're supposed to be doing when they're getting their couple at bats and stuff like that. I'm pumped for it. Another thing that I'm excited to see is just is like a Jose Barrios start. I think we should maybe go live for that as well. I know Avery you guys will probably be at work. Maybe I'll go live for that if it's this week. But he's another guy where it's like he could either have a Kikuchi start where he just carves, or he just has nightmare fuel start and Blue Jays Nation blows up. Like just the Blue Jays fans go crazy. Like, here we go again.
My defense on that is we have the World Baseball Classic that's really going to tell where Jose Barrios is at, right? Because you're in a World Baseball Classic is
good ball.
You play in those games. Some of those are more hyped than some playoff games that they'll play in, right? So you're right into the fire right away. Spring training, I'm not going to worry about results too much for guys like that. Kikuchi getting swings and misses is different than looking at a stat line for me. So if Barrios can get swings and misses, and I mean, home runs will be the other thing that I worry about is him middle of the plate. But you go into a game that's very serious. I don't think they push starters long. So like a 5-inning start.
Yeah.
That he gives up 2, he gets swings and misses, he stays out of the middle. That's where I'll really want to see where Jose Barrios is at, and where I'm kind of hoping for him competitive advantage, get the fire back too, and figure out his stuff. World Baseball Classic will be great. But another thing is like Alejandro Kirk's gone. That situation's just been weird too, eh? We're gonna have Keegan Matheson on, I think, this week, and I'm definitely
on Tuesday. Yeah,
definitely want to know what that situation is like in camp, because it's been a
he's not playing the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, but he's a whole like week away from the team as well. I understand what he's waiting for. It makes sense, but it's tough to get that late of a start.
Yeah. Kirk, just not seeing any Kirk content has been weird. Like, because that's like a guy where Blue Jays Twitter obviously fucking loves, and just the content of him is all time. Speaking of Blue Jays Twitter, we got to give a shout out to our guy rating Kikuchi. I mean, this guy, if you want to talk about guys that come at people aggressive when they say a negative thing, this guy is crazy. I mean, he's a crazy person. Someone said, let me read one of the tweets I sent you guys. It was so fucking funny. Lewis was like, this is genuinely hilarious trolling by the MLB account, and just rating Kikuchi responds, I hate your dumbass. It just, he comes at you so fucking hard if you say something about Kikuchi. And listen, I've been caught in the crossfires with him too. He was like to me, shut up, or something like that. He's crazy with it, but you got to tip your cap, man. He actually said, I'm a part of the Kikuchi clan now, so it's an honor to be a part of it. So I'm pumped for it. Do you think, like, because obviously, you know, with like the Shohei guys and all those guys, like Japanese Twitter keeps tabs on their guys. Like, you make a tweet about Shohei, it has 1,000 retweets and shit like that because they search it. Do you think these Japanese Twitter is just searching Kikuchi and just seeing like a rating Kikuchi account and like just us calling him like a Cy Young winner and shit like that? And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with these Canadian people?
No,
You think they're saying that? No,
I think they know how good he is, so it just makes sense. And they're not watching his spring training starts.
Oh man, Avery, you mentioned this on the stream yesterday. He scrapped the glove. Is that one of the factors? Because that was the ugliest fucking glove.
Pants. He went Robbie Ray pants.
He's literally changing. He's literally changing fucking everything, which is just so funny.
But if you're a pitch, I told you guys last week, like I was a pitch, I would change literally everything too.
Yeah,
it was so bad last year. If you don't try and change everything that's in your control, like what glove you wear, what cleats you wear, what's the size pants you're wearing, if you're wearing them up or down, you're not working hard enough. You don't want it bad enough.
But I just think someone said to him, like, listen, this glove is ugly as fuck.
Well, he got a new sponsor. Let's just because it was Mizuno last year, and I think he's wearing a Japanese brand now.
Okay.
Maybe maybe Mizuno dropped him. He pitched so bad last year.
That would be depressing.
That would be very sad.
Yeah.
Then I would have to disavow Mizuno.
Mizuno's a big Japanese brand as well.
Yeah, I know. Like but the color of that glove was terrible. And I'm just happy. like the Bearded Kikuchi thing is trending. Is just everyone's dialed in on Bearded Kikuchi because he is. I mean, you want to talk about dudes that's turning it around. I mean, this guy, if he carves his next start, whenever it is, I will be going live for it. I hope it's at 7 so Avery can hop on.
I don't play many 7 o'clock games.
Yeah, it sucks, but it is going to be a movie when you say if he carves his next start. Just we have people like on our Twitter buying his jerseys and shit like that. Like you want to talk about not an overreaction. We're keeping completely level-headed here. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen much of our friend Mitch White, which is kind of sad.
I think he's hurt.
Yeah, he had a shoulder impingement injury. It would have been nice if I think I said this last week, if he could have broken the news here. But I saw him throwing weighted balls against the wall just by himself. He looked pretty lonely. So maybe we should check in on our friend Mitch.
Explain that to me like I'm 12, what that injury is.
I don't really know. I know it hurts. I've had
Let's
it
do doctor corner with Avery.
Yeah, if you know this, man.
It's when the tendons flare up in your shoulder or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So anyone listening, don't Google it, but we're almost positive.
I know when I had a shoulder impingement, I couldn't lift my arm above my head. That's how bad it hurt.
Oh, God, eh?
Yeah. That was bad. So
yeah,
hopefully Mitch is doing a little better. I think he is.
Let's talk about the pitch clock. I am a pitch clock savant. I am all in on the pitch clock. I made it very clear yesterday on the stream, and I said it to you multiple times on COD, Avery. I am all in on the fucking pitch clock, and if you're not a pitch clock savant, I don't know if I could be your guy anymore. Like,
well, on COD, what did the other guys say about it? The two people who play.
Schwarbs and Bryson hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Why though?
Because I just think it's like a dumb addition. Like I think and someone made, I think it was Pearson, he made a good point of like people need to relax, that this isn't going to be like this hard, like go hard, like during the season. And they're going to make changes. Like they would never have something like this happen in season, but it's just like like you're going to have people timing the clock for stealing, which I just think is dumb because pitchers are now like in their head. And Kikuchi even mentioned it, that it helped him, but they're getting into rhythms where it's going to become easier to steal. Like someone's going to get a rhythm where they're leaving at the 8-second clock and they're going to be looking at it at the 8-second mark. They know that they're going to be, and this new pickoff thing. What is the ruling that you can only pick off twice?
Yeah. The third time you don't get him out, it's a balk.
Yeah.
But like, you see, that's so dumb. That's dumb.
I agree. It's not baseball anymore. It's
that rule
we're just
can
trying to
fuck
control. And also, what happens if the clock is running down and you step off the mound?
You can do that. That's part of your disengagement rule. You have 2 of them per at bat.
Yeah. I just think that it's like a force. Like I just like when there's a big spot in a game, I don't mind if they're taking their time. It's a huge spot and it brings out anticipation. But I do agree, obviously, in the early innings, like some people do take longer, and I get they're trying to shorten the games, but I mean, I think it's just part of the game, though. Like I don't know.
I have a recommendation. I think this rule should only be a thing until the 7th inning. Is that crazy to say? Because
I understand and I want to agree with you, but like, how can you do that?
What do you mean? After when the 7th inning hits, there's no pitch clock anymore.
Sure, but it's just like, how can the Rules Association come and say that, and people be like, why are we doing it at all then?
Yeah. See, yeah. Okay. You really just debunked that quick. I don't have an answer.
Like, I agree. I would be totally fine with that. And I think it would be a good idea, but why would anyone agree to a pitch clock at all if you do it that? It's unfair for some guys. Like Kenley Jansen is going to be nightmare fuel having to throw the ball at.
Well, Toronto Blue Jay, Chris Bassett is going to.
Human rain delay is what they called him.
Yeah. Like, I don't. It's going to be interesting to see how these dudes perform with this, bro. Because
Bryson said something pretty interesting. I don't know how true it was, but he thinks Chris Bassett will be the one with the pitch comm on his arm, calling the pitches to the catcher.
Yeah, letting the catcher know what he wants to throw
on his arm.
So you know how the catcher has it on them to call the pitches?
Yeah.
He was saying he might have been fucking around, but he thinks that Chris Bassett will wear it on his hand and call the pitches to the catcher.
That's hilarious.
But that would be a good way.
He seems like a guy that would do that, though.
But that would be a good way, though, to like, all right, not have to worry about the pitch clock if you're not on the same page as your catcher.
That's
another thing, too. Like, And I know
Might
we're
be
talking
genius,
about
to be
I
honest.
know we're talking about Kirk not being at spring training. We're like joking around with it and shit like this. But Kirk not being at spring training and not being able to learn some of these pitchers is gonna it's gonna fuck with the pitch clock. Like, let's say he doesn't understand Chris Bassett, like the way he pitches or like his preferences, stuff like that. And there's just some miscommunication stuff. Like it's gonna fuck with him, right? Like, I don't know. I just think the pitch clock is it's good. It's chemistry is gonna matter a lot between catcher pitcher.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I'm fine with. It was actually kind of weird how fast the game went. Is like it felt kind of dirty to me. You know, it's like the game's supposed to take 3+ hours to me.
Yeah, like our fucking like our games in junior took 3 hours to play 9 innings, Ave.
Yeah,
well, I don't think the people who watch baseball like baseball for what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think baseball is the worst sport for attracting new, younger people. I don't think this will ever make younger people want.
Okay, well, I have a point to make. So Tyler Matzik, a good friend of mine, made a good point on Twitter. He said, this is going to fuck with Major League Baseball teams' concession stands and stuff like that. And hear me out, because usually, right, like there's happy hour till the 7th inning. Or not happy hour, sorry. They have to stop selling beer at the 7th inning, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a game is going by as quick as it is right now, that I'm not a math guy, but that is going to ideally result in less beers drank per person. Is that correct?
Less hot dogs eaten. Yeah.
Less hot dogs eaten, all that type of stuff, right? What a fucking smart idea that I'm stealing from Tyler Matzik, by the way. But
what's your idea?
I'm just saying it's gonna like that. The idea of that is going to fuck with it's gonna just fuck with concession sales and stuff like that. Like
agreed, 100%.
Which I don't
not
understand.
Really though. Like that's not really like a.
What's
like
your solution
huge,
then?
Like,
I don't have a solution. A solution at the end of the day. No, a solution at the end of the day is going to be ownership spiking prices to make up for the changes
there you go.
in the fucking.
Yes, there you go.
We're gonna go to. I'm gonna be blackout drunk at a Jays game, and I'm gonna go to Corona, whatever it's called, the patio.
Rooftop.
And
There's actually
this is $25. This is $25 for a beer, and I'm gonna be like, whatever. Then I'll check my credit card statement later in the month and be like, I spent fucking $75 at Corona Lounge. When did this happen? Oh, I got
You're
3
not
beers.
$75 at the Corona Lounge the first time you go. Get a new favorite team.
There's a open house for the outfield district, April 11th to 16th.
What?
What
There's
the
an
fuck
open
does
house.
that even mean?
I don't know. Do the Jays play April 11th to 16 or no?
I think their home openers at 12th, right?
Okay, so I guess they're gonna have it open to everyone on those days, type thing.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
And did you see the promotional schedule came out, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's sick. There's like a half and half jersey.
Yeah.
There's the Vladdy gold glove, which fucking rules.
Yeah.
Romano,
doing the flip.
Jano bobblehead.
Jano bobblehead, really?
Jano
It's
shaking.
Romano's hand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna have to pay for that. They're gonna make up for that somewhere in the. We're gonna
I think
dollar.
we just split it in half and make Jano give it to Jano. Hey, here's your own bobblehead.
Yeah,
cool is
that's
that?
sharing a bobblehead kind of takes away the shine. Like if having your first bobblehead.
Do you
It
remember
takes-
Romano's hat that he had for the giveaway?
That was we called it the trucker convoy hat.
Yeah.
I don't know, we might lose followers. It looks like a trucker convoy hat. Like Berta Proud is wearing that right now on a TikTok. That's what he's doing. Dude, so listen, this is completely off topic. I was thinking about this. I wasn't high. This was like just me thought, and maybe I can have some of the followers or the people asking like in our YouTube comments back me up on this. This is a crazy take that I have. And I don't know if this is
gonna be fucked.
This is how my brain works. And this is just, maybe you guys can agree with me. When you guys are watching highlight tapes from like 1970, 1980s, right? When you're watching these tapes, in your mind, are you like, they look like we do now? Or are you like, the quality of the stuff they're wearing isn't anywhere near what it is now? Like when I'm watching a video in the 1980s, in my mind, I'm not like, if we were at this sporting event, it would look the exact same as it does right now. I'm looking at the perspective of how bad the camera is. So in my mind, I'm like, I thought about the other day, I'm like, holy shit. these videos of like Hank Aaron rounding the bases with like the terrible quality, he probably looks like if we just went to a Jays game right now, it looked the exact same. I'm looking at it through the lens of a 1980s camera. I'm looking at that part of the world, that part of history through that camera, and I'm not realizing that it's just like what we're looking at right now. It's just basic generic world shit. I'm looking at it like, wow, shit was ugly back then. Like I'm looking at like, does anyone else think that? Am I the only one?
Let me try to explain this to Jared. So Johnny is just finding out that cameras were bad. Like they used to have bad cameras. And he wants you, the listeners, to know that the world didn't necessarily look like that at the time. It still looks similar to today, but they just had bad cameras.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that you nailed it.
I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's probably the truth.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. I don't know why
it looks like there's barely any colors when you look at that tape.
But I think the biggest mind-blown part, Jer, and this is what I'm saying, it's not a hot take, is the fact that if you put us in a time machine and we went back to the 1990 World Series with the Jays, everything would look like it does now.
No.
Yes.
Like in what sense though? Like what are we talking about?
The way people's faces look, the way their clothes, like the quality of their clothes, like
well, everything has just gotten better, right?
I understand the technology of how stuff is made. I'm just saying in general, like when I am watching a game in 1980s, like the 1980s, you can't see the fucking baseball. Like the camera quality is terrible. No, I'm looking back on it now. Like if you took me in a time machine, this is gonna fuck a lot of people's heads. By the way, like a lot of people are.
This is like the movie Inception. The movie Inception,
but like. You would be able to see the baseball. You'd be able to see the bat. The jerseys would be crystal clear looking. That's what I'm saying. And that's what fucks with me every time I watch this stuff. I'm like, I'm just figuring this out now that everything looked normal back then still. The cameras were just bad.
Yeah.
Is that like, I'm not a lead guy, but
nice. You look at those.
That is though something you would think about when you're high and just really dive
this is high. This is a high thought. I mean, and I'm not a weed guy, which is why I mean, it's a high thought for me, but it is wild to me that is how the world looks back then. I guess I wanted to bring that up because I'm thinking about that.
It is crazy. It also would just be like really cool to go back, like to put yourself into that World Series.
I actually just me being a degenerate, like I would just want time travel to be able to bet on sports where I knew the outcome. That's the only reason. Like I wouldn't care about going back to the Jays World Series. Would I love it? Sure. I would love it more if I put a futures bet on the Jays to win the World Series in '93 and I just cashed it and got to enjoy that. That's why I look forward to time travel.
Team that had won the World Series
come on. That's a scumbag move. That's a scumbag move.
I feel like there would be some sort of like, I feel like there would be some sort of
karma.
Yeah, karma with that.
Why wouldn't you just want to invent like the internet or something? Or just
that's another good point. I guess, yeah. I would stop the birth of Trevor Bauer, maybe. Like the conception of Trevor Bauer. Like let's go around the table here. We're still in the offseason here, so we're just coming up with topics. What's one thing that you would do if you could time travel? Like, what's one thing? Avery, maybe we'll start with you, then we'll go to JR, because JR's brain works in a weird way. We'll see what JR's saying. But Avery, I want to go to you.
Probably like stop the world wars, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
How the fuck are you gonna stop it?
Yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do?
How is time travel gonna help you stop
go back and stop
like
the
little
world
baby
war.
Hitler? You just shoot him in the head when he's won.
I guess that, yeah.
I don't know. You guys put me on the spot.
Now you make us look bad. Like, now you're making us look bad because I said I want to watch the Jays win a World Series and put a future bet on them. You're saying you want to kill baby Hitler. Like, let's talk in aspects of like sports.
That is just an absurd thing to fucking say, Abe. I did not.
On the spot, man.
Oh my god.
That's what you're gonna get here, man. Politics and baseball.
No, I'm out of the politics game. I've been.
Sports wise. Fuck. I mean, I would just whoever bought the Yankees, I would just hope that they were broke and just could never buy the Yankees and they didn't exist, probably.
That's a good one. What about you, JR?
Or Babe Ruth was a Chicago White Sox or something. I don't know.
I would go back. So Johnny's way of getting the money is just stealing. So I
That's
don't
not
like that.
stealing, by the way. That's
It's-
just good
so-
betting.
I'm gonna steal money a different way to morally feel better about myself. I'm
You
gonna
guys are
go
just
back
doing
in
this for
time.
personal gain.
Well, no. Okay. I'm going to set myself up for life. I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to create a company which I know is going to be successful, a product that I know is going to be successful. And then I'm ready
Like
to go.
Apple.
Yes. Well, I can't really make
Amazon.
Apple.
Yeah,
going
but
back,
what you can
something
do
that
is
I
you
can
could go
do.
and meet Steve Jobs before
Yes,
he became
and then
Steve
become an
Jobs.
investor.
Latch
Yes.
on to Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
That's,
like
yeah,
Nike
that's
or
become an
something.
investor.
Phil
Yeah,
Knight.
and then bang, I'm set for life. I don't like going back for a sports event would be cool, but if you know the outcome, then
yeah, that's a good point.
What sporting event would you go back to?
ooh, that's a good question.
I wouldn't even say the 93 World Series. I mean, I've seen the videos of it a trillion times. Like
It would be cool to go back though to that time.
I
compared to
wouldn't go
something
back
more
to the
recent.
World Series.
Walk
I
off
would
home
go
run to win a World Series. You wouldn't want to.
Yeah, how would you not want to go back to that?
This is a crazy take again, but I wouldn't go
dumb.
back to the World Series. I would go back to a bar in Toronto the night of the World Series and
That
celebrate
is-
with everyone and like parade down the street. Because my dad tells me in '93 it was a fucking idiot zone in downtown Toronto when the Jays won the World Series.
Yeah,
Like,
but you're gonna be like you're gonna be on
In
the
the
streets
building.
right after the game. But you can
no, I'd rather be at a
with-
bar.
You're great. I mean,
But you could just go to the bar after the game. Like, you know what I mean? And then be there.
you can see it with your own eyes, Johnny.
Like, you would be like, you don't think like it was electric inside watching it live?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it was.
That's crazy from you.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I guess it would be crazy. I mean, I guess it would be sick to see it live. Yeah, you hit it on the head. That's true. But
Leafs
Going
go
back-
back to win the cup. You know,
the Leafs when there was 5 teams winning the cup. Going back to Jay's talk, obviously, I mean, the guys like Vladdy and all those have shown out and stuff like that. We got to talk about the bad and the ugly here. Luke Bard, what the fuck was that today? And I mean, Avery was pumping this dude's tires about 3 weeks ago, talking about how the potential's there and all this good fucking analytic number bullshit. This guy comes in and gives up a million, gives up just a million runs.
he was working on pitching to contact today, and he successfully did that. So if you don't think he's good, you can go fuck yourself.
Where do you stand with Nate Pearson today?
Electric. 101. Are you fucking kidding me?
3
Sorry, I
strikeouts,
shouldn't-
boys. Let's just not look at the other stats. Just 3 strikeouts.
I should have let Jared go first there. That was my bad. But I mean, the ump today, was it Vic Carapazza, the guy who stinks? I think.
Oh,
Doesn't
he's
matter.
bad,
For
bro.
serving him. The zone was horrible. There's multiple times where we were just taking middle fastballs for balls, and it just only went against us every time. It was nuts. The ump was so fucking bad, and I can't wait to complain about that shit for more of the season.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the spring, you don't. I mean, unless you're doing Luke Bard numbers, pitching to contact, giving up mammo dingers every time, you want to see the arm work. And being up to 101 in the spring is pretty damn good for Nate Pearson, for a guy who's been a Band-Aid forever.
Let me be clear. Let's get JR's perspective, the Nate Pearson truther, because I mean it was electric, but man, holy fuck! Like let's mix in a couple more strikes, maybe. Like we'll get JR's take. Well, what's your take, JR?
First game, man. We care about strikeouts. We need a high strikeout guy, so they're gonna let him loose. They're gonna let the cannon loose. So, I mean, if he's gonna be good. I mean, he's got all spring training to figure out the control. They'll figure him out. But he's thrown 101 in his first outing. That's pretty impressive, boys. You got to think he can get up to like 103 by the end of the spring training. I mean, this is the guy's first like game appearance, and this guy's thrown 101.
It was fucking electric, but I mean,
He has to like go. Like he's making the team out of camp.
no,
right?
he's making the team, but I think you have to throw him in like the 5th, 6th inning. You don't put him in high leverage just yet.
I like him. Yeah, you're right. I think they'll work him in, and he's got to earn that role. 100%. He's got to earn that role. If he wants to play with the big dogs at the bottom of the pen, he's gonna have to show it. He's gonna be a little dog. He's gonna be a little pup, Nate pup.
Throwing
be
101
throwing
though.
6th and 7th innings, right?
Throwing 101.
Throwing 101. Imagine your 6-7. Imagine your 6-7 inning guy comes in throwing 101. Come on.
Yeah, we had it with Kikuchi last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Our 5th inning guy.
how about our boy? Like, I'm excited to see him throw. I saw him tweet the. Why do I completely forget his name? The reliever we got from the Mariners.
Oh, Eric Swanson.
Eric Swanson. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's going tomorrow.
Okay, I want to see what he's got.
And Belt's gonna be
I
tomorrow
was about to
too.
say, we haven't seen Belt either.
So they're pretty much swapping the teams now. Like, is that what they're doing, Ash?
I would think
I don't
so.
know. I
Like the veterans won't, like Vlad obviously won't be in the lineup, right? And
I'd be surprised to see him 3 days in a row.
yeah.
But maybe he wants to get a ton of at bats in early before the World Baseball Classic. So we might.
Ooh, that is true. I actually
so
didn't
we
even think
might
about
just
that.
See him a bunch.
Wait, Vlad's in the World Baseball Club. Oh yeah, he is. Fuck. So we're not going to be seeing him in spring training for a fucking for the whole for
Yeah,
the
that's right.
back end of it, right?
That's why they have so many guys. Spring
Yeah.
training will be an afterthought when the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I won't be.
Mhm.
For people wanting us to go live, maybe for the Kikuchi starts, but other than that, it's like I couldn't give a fuck less.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
it's-
there's some half meaningful baseball on. I'll be paying attention to that.
We could
Yeah.
go live for if Barrios starts a big game.
Yeah,
in the
we
World
could do
Baseball
that.
Classic.
We could do that for sure. We could do that.
It'd be better time too.
Yeah.
I wish Kikuchi was playing for Japan. They did him so dirty.
They fucked up after yesterday. Took that shit personal. Kikuchi took that shit personal yesterday. I was sick. It's just so fun, especially on Blue Jays Twitter, when just as a collective unit, everyone is just all together rooting for a guy. It's just so fun. Like there's probably some Kikuchi haters, but it's just majority of it's positive. Like all of it is just wanting this guy to do good, wanting this guy to succeed. That's just the best. Like everyone was all in.
I mean, how can you not be all in? He was awesome.
He was fucking unbelievable.
I need to see the strike zone though, because I feel like all of those whiffs were on balls, pretty much.
Which is good. Deceptive.
No, or you just stop swinging at his shit because he's not throwing strikes, and we just put the bat on the shoulder. But that's fine. 14 whiffs. He had
Yep.
15 last year once, right, against the Red Sox.
That was that was a where were you moment.
Yeah, that was a couple inning outing.
Yeah,
as well.
that was where were you moment. But let's talk about the future here. So Avery bet on Jake Paul. I guess we should talk about that because this is probably going to drop. This is 100%.
Yeah, you're
drop when
gonna.
it's
Are
done.
you excited, Dave, or what?
Yeah, I'm really excited actually.
But what?
Jake
What's
Paul
your?
is a.
Can you
fucking
explain?
cash
Can
cow.
you explain? Just you have a minute to explain why you think this is.
Because
love this bet.
if it's rigged, they wouldn't rig it for Tommy Fury. They don't care about Tommy Fury.
He's a
on
model.
Here's
he's on
my.
Love Island. He had a kid.
Yeah, someone did. I think it was Schaub. I saw a tweet. He like ripped apart who this guy's face.
I mean, the combined record is horrendous for guys he's fought. And I remember he was on the first Jake Paul card. He was one of the first fights on a Jake Paul card where he fought in Cleveland.
Mhm.
And Big Cat and Dave were like, this guy stinks. Like, he stinks out loud at boxing.
Oh my God. The only thing though is I heard, and I don't know how true it is that there's a clause in the contract that says if Paul loses, there's another fight. That's the only thing that scares me.
That's in most boxing contracts, though.
Okay.
So
I was just
anytime-
worried because like if they were like planning that like they know the sales are going to be that big that like they wouldn't mind having 3 out of this. Jake Paul.
It's on like Top Rank. It's on ESPN Plus, I think. It's not even an HBO thing, which is weird. So
Yeah, that
that'll
is
be interesting
weird.
to see. They wouldn't rig it. I did part of this. I did see a script someone wrote out that had Jake Paul winning in the 8th round.
Oh
I know it was fake, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put my Canadian dollars on Jake Paul, the problem child. He's gonna win. And if he doesn't win,
What are the odds right now for
he's
him?
minus 120 to win.
Okay.
And my good friend Tyler McKillop, our
no.
good friend, he makes his most money on Jake Paul boxing.
He loves betting Jake Paul.
It's
T-
crazy.
T-Mac loves Jake Paul. Was it 2 fights ago where he was going ballistic for Jake Paul?
Yeah. And Jake Paul was a dog, I think.
Yeah.
We also another thing we got to talk about. The Jays just have 100 coaches. Why isn't that being talked? I mean,
Yo, are we starting are we trying to like field like an alumni team like versus the Jays or something like
Well, I think
alumni
a lot
day?
of teams do have alumni, like Pedro's in Red Sox camp, right?
Yeah. It is cool though to have those guys around. Like Victor, like Martinez, like I don't know if you guys saw, but like
Jeff
he was
Merrick
like,
just liked our tweet about.
Yeah. Is there a bigger Gate 14 guy than Jeffy Merrick? I mean, Jeff Merrick is that dude.
Sorry,
I,
Jake.
no.
What?
Jeff, no. I'm just saying, Jeff
I
Merrick.
cut him off there. I felt
Yeah,
bad.
no.
What were you saying, JR?
I was saying, what was I saying?
I don't remember.
What was I
No, the
Well, we're
coaching
talking
staff.
about-
You said
talking
The
Victor
about
coaching
Martinez.
staff. Yes. Okay. Martinez was like dressed, like helping the boys. Like I thought he was like special
Put him in the
assistant to the
dugout.
GM, but he was like dressed up like in spring training, like at practice helping. So like all these guys are just going to be kind of, I don't know what they do during the year though.
They're just there for spring, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think. And like Victor Martinez has been working with Espinal apparently the whole camp.
You think they're just
That's
boozing?
completely
Like,
different
do you think they're
positions,
just
though.
boozing together or what? They're at camp.
Yeah, they're
They just
boozing,
come to
playing
have a
golf.
good
I
time.
need this meme picture because I was gonna tweet it after the Martinez. It's a picture of like a team picture, and there's just 1,000 players in the picture. And I was gonna tweet and go Blue Jays coaching staff because they're just. I mean, Edwin Encarnacion was hired.
Mhm.
Victor Martinez was hot. It's just the Jays are gonna have 1,000 coaches, and that's cool. I actually want them to embrace that. I want them to all be in the dugout. Is there rules with that? I want to just have 100 coaches in the dugout.
It's like a college baseball team.
No, they won't be in the dugout. From my
What I'm saying is I want them in the dugout.
Oh,
I
there's
want
definitely
100
a
coaches.
max. There's definitely a max for coaches. There has to be, right?
Maximum
you'd hope so.
amount of
Imagine a
Coaches.
team with just some fucking shit ton of coaches.
just all on the first step of the dugout. All just sunglasses.
that
on,
would be
charts.
rock star shit.
That would be cool
if
to
you
have
got
all
a-
those guys.
Okay, it's
Victor
one manager and 8 coaches are allowed in the
8
dugout.
coaches. Holy shit.
Get it
that's a
going.
lot.
Let's have a
Yeah,
fucking,
but-
let's
But
have
you gotta
9
remember
coaches.
the trainer counts as one.
Put
You know,
the trainers in the fucking clubhouse and get the just because there's a way around it. You can
There
put the
is.
trainers
Someone
in the
gets hurt,
clubhouse
they
and they
come
can
running
run out.
Yeah.
And then
You could have a coaching change between innings.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, Victor, you're
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Vladdy went 0 for 2. Victor, you're in. What are you seeing here? Bang, go back to the clubhouse. Like, you could finesse it. I want 9 fucking coaches. Put the trainers in the clubhouse. If something happens, they can run out and the coaches swap. I want a full 9 guys dressed in baseball uniform coaching staff in the dugout. That would be all time. Imagine a bench clearing brawl.
Do we have
Victor
anyone wearing?
Martinez on your side would be scary.
Do we have anyone wearing number 10 on the team?
That's
Like we could just have Edwin wearing number 10 again.
yeah.
Put
I
him
still
on.
think Edwin could do better than like some of these minor league guys for sure. 100% he could. 100% he could. Oh, there's 2 more things that I want to talk about. So the second last thing I want to talk about is underrated funny part of this season is Dalton Varsho wearing Charlie Montoyo's number. That is all time. Every
That
time I
is
see that
funny.
number, I get PTSD of a guy just playing the bongos. Like, do you think that jersey still has like the bongo stench in it, where he's just like every once in a while Varsho's arms just start doing this, and it just like it just has the fucking, he just like
No,
the arms just have PTSD.
I think Charlie was wearing a small and Varsho's probably in an XL. If I had to guess, they had to get him a new.
I think I'm gonna get Jake Berger on the official podcast just to ask questions about Charlie Montoya. Like, what has he been like so far? Like, is he playing the bongos and the law? Like, is the bench coach allowed to have bongos? That's another main thing you have to talk about. It's like what's going on here with Montoya, but Varsho wearing that number is all time. And next thing we got to talk about is oh, I got it right here. Manny Machado, 11 years, $350 million. So Matt Chapman is just not coming back here, right?
Yeah, the market's gonna be too big for him. Holy shit! And we still haven't gotten a deal done with Bo or Vladdy, where the money's gonna go. So I think we have to say our goodbyes to Matt Chapman, unfortunately.
Embrace it. We got 162 games left with Matt Chapman. That's how we have to look at it.
I would love for him to be back.
He's not going to be back though. Like
No, not
the
with
Jays aren't going to
bonuses.
pay him $300 million or $280 million or whatever he's going to get
He'd
because
be like
he's
a
the
one-
best third.
He'd
He's
be
the
a
best third base
170
target.
guy, I think.
No,
Whatever contract. He's not Manny Machado.
I know he's not Manny Machado. That's why I said $200 million probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like that's still a ton. And
The-
he's one of the premier free agents in the class, actually. So
He's the top third baseman.
Yeah.
So it's like his resume, it speaks for itself, and he gone. He's out.
It makes the year even more win now, even though you could have like Barger play third base the next year.
But that's a massive decline.
Yeah,
it's a massive whether you like it or not, that's just a massive decline defensively.
I mean, we had Breivik Valera playing third base the year before Matt Chapman, so
and we were terrible. And the Jays were
bad.
fucking terrible.
yeah.
Oh my god. What would he wear? He would wear that goddamn bandana or something, or headband underneath his hat. It's like, where the fuck did we get this guy from? Holy fuck. You're so desperate for a third baseman, though.
There's been some bad.
Espinal was playing third base too, I think.
There's been some bad Toronto Blue Jays players. There's no way to beat around the bush with that. There's been some terrible.
That's the great thing about baseball, though, is you need to use so many different guys. Like Zach Thompson will start a game for the Blue Jays this year. Almost
no, stop that. No, he won't.
We'll start a game for the Blue Jays this year.
No, he won't.
I'll bet you money that they both start a game.
No chance.
Who'd you just say there, Abe?
Zach Thompson and Drew Hutchison will start a game for the Blue Jays.
Start a game.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Shan, that's kind of crazy. Thompson could be off the team.
The Tigers used 19 starting pitchers last year.
You're comparing the Detroit Tigers to the Toronto Blue Jays?
Injuries? What the fuck are you talking about?
You think Zach Thompson,
Drew Hutchison ain't touching shit this year?
I think they both, if they are.
Did you see Thompson?
Yeah, it was one game. He's a vet, man. He's got to fucking work into it. The cutter wasn't cutting yesterday.
Nate Pearson will start a game before them.
No.
As a starter, as an opener, Nate Pearson will start a game. That is listen. I know JR is a Nate Pearson truther, but Nate Pearson will start a game for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Maybe, but that doesn't count as like he has to throw more than 3 innings.
But you think if the Jays call up Thompson, they're going to let him go more than 3? Are you out to fucking lunch? What are you talking about? You can't even throw 1 in spring training.
He was,
dude. He's like
not a bullpen guy.
They were hard on Stripling.
He'll go 3 fucking innings. He will get a start. Him, Andrew Hutchison.
But you just said that doesn't classify as a start.
I'm saying he'll go more than that. Like he will do it.
You don't make that is a crazy take. If he does,
I want to see them pitch. But
if he does, you have it right here. I want everyone to hold me accountable. I will not watch the game. If Zach Thompson starts for the Jays, you have my confidence. I want people to hold me accountable. I will not watch that game.
I mean, we had Thomas Hatch July 2nd. Like, there's gonna be shit like that happening,
But that was when the Jays had no depth, though.
Mm-hmm.
The Jays have depth now.
They got a little more.
The Jays have depth now.
One guy,
Zuleta.
Yeah, okay, I'd be happy to see him.
Big Dick Rick.
Big Dick Rick.
I mean, Zach Thompson will start a game. Or
no, don't
start
say
a
it.
game before Big Dick Rick.
No,
stop
it.
100%.
Why would that happen?
Because you bring him up on short notice from AAA.
Well, I think Rick's gonna be it. Once that cutoff hits, he's gonna be in the majors.
I think we see him in July.
July, eh?
You think
Thompson's gonna throw before him?
Yeah, because they don't want to start Zach Thompson over Ricky. That obviously.
What about Addison Barger? When do you think he comes up?
Yeah.
Realistically, what's the over under?
Let's get the Chenier predictions here.
Realistically, I think he's up in May.
Okay, I that's what I said to Chris Black too. I'm all in on the Pop and Addies. I'm all in on Addison Barger.
I think he just goes down there and he just dominates, and then he comes up here. He doesn't get a lot of plate appearances, which will fuck him, and then he'll go back down and rake again.
He's a great. He'd be a. I think they give him the ABs to start the year in AAA, and then because he'd be a great guy off the bench for the Jays, like even a pinch hitter to come in.
You don't want him being a pinch hitter.
That's the thing, though. For his development, it's probably best that he stays in AAA until he's too good to be in there, and it's time to call him up. I think that's best case.
And from his numbers last year, he was too good to be there, but you want to see him do it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He rose up last year, right? Like he went from
3 levels, I think.
Yeah.
3 levels. 3 levels in 1 year is just stupid, by the way.
I think he's just gonna fucking rake in AAA.
It is. So I guess we'll end it here. We'll end it with this. we have baseball to talk about. Like that's just all you have to say at the end of the day. We have Toronto Blue Jays baseball to talk about. We'll be doing some streams here and there because the viewership on the streams, I just want to talk about it, give thanks to like the listeners and the viewers, stuff like that, is crazy. Like the fact that our live is still getting views right now, like it has like 400 other views today, is fucking wild. Like you're just watching me and Abe just stare at a screen. It's crazy. I will never understand why people like it, but you got like the viewership's crazy, the followers are crazy, and stay tuned for the. I know I've got a lot of like personal DMs of people like DMing me about like the row pat, all the stuff like that. The website, I hope it's like it'll be coming whenever, but it's gonna be sick, and stay tuned for that. So I know the support's been just fucking absurd, man, and we will be live. You have my guarantee because I don't work next week because then I'm in Aurora the week after, so I can't do it the week after, but next week. If Kikuchi or Barrios makes a spot start or something like that, or Tiedemann makes a start, we will be going live, or I'll just be going live by myself, and we'll kick it with you guys. But yeah, keep up the support, man. It's been crazy, and we got so much shit planned out for this year. It's gonna be fucking electric. So strap in. We were only 2 games into this. Let me just make up a number. We got 200 games to go this year. So stay tuned for that shit, everyone, and Gate 14 forever. That's all I have to say. JR, Avery, any last words?
Nope.
No. Well, I guess I do have words. That was fun. I was saying to Johnny that it might be better than us going to the games, just streaming it all the time if the people like it. So hopefully you'll see more of that. That was awesome yesterday, and a lot of good things coming.